It's time to play the podcast. Doo-doo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Defenders, presented by Bpoint5 Gaming with your hosts. It's me, Alex Lopez, with me always my buddy Grant Levron.
Alex, I don't believe that was an epic enough intro for this podcast because there's so much we're going to be talking about. I kind of feel like there's only one way to truly give this podcast the intro it deserves, so allow me.
Okay, you have the floor.
My name is Grant Levron, and I am kind of a certified G and not at all a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. This man right here, this is Alex Lopez, and he has amazing hair, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, the saddest guys in the room. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
You could have said like 5'7" tall. Actually, I think that's a bit too generous on my part. I don't think I'm 5'7".
Somewhere Vince McMahon is like triggered.
He's triggered. He's angry.
He's triggered. He's so angry.
How dare this 5'7" man shit on my product? Well, like you said, we have a shitload to talk about today. We have to talk about the Lesnar drug tests, the final deletion. We have the WWE draft that happened like just last week, and last night's WWE Battleground. Or not last night, 2 nights ago.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. We're recording this on a Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday already?
It is Tuesday. We're going up on it, man.
See, that's what happens when you're unemployed like me. The days they just merge into one fucking thing, you know?
Yeah, and even then, I've been babysitting 2 toddlers, so...
How's that going?
Oh, God, it's great. I've seen the same Peppa Pig episodes 10 times in a row.
That is unfortunate. What the hell? Wait, what the fuck is Peppa Pig?
Oh, just look it up.
It sounds like a stutter.
It's some weird shit.
It's like Peppa Pig.
Like, I'm starting to realize now with children's television, they teach children to be bad. Because there's a little pig on there named George, and he's an asshole.
All right, George the asshole, this podcast is for you.
This is dedicated to George the pig. He's a giant asshole.
Before we get into the Lesnar thing, I just want to say that Bpoint5 Gaming is actually on SoundCloud now. You can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud. Like I said before, if you're taking a shit, you're on a long road trip, you can download the podcast and listen to it anywhere on the go. So be sure to head up the SoundCloud account. It's in the descriptions below.
Or damn, if you're more adult, you can have a drinking game, and every time Alex says anytime I stutter, anytime Alex says biggest pop of the night, or anytime I say exactly, you take a drink. Next thing you know, 10 minutes into the podcast, and you have alcohol poisoning.
You're dead. Wait, we don't want to kill our 3 listeners.
Actually, yeah, please don't drink yourselves to death. Which, by the way, if you're listening to us and you're actually going to do that, maybe you need to get your priorities in straight.
Drink responsibly.
Always drink responsibly.
All right, well, let's just get right into it. You know a little bit more about the Brock Lesnar situation than I do.
Yeah, and I was going to get into it last podcast. So, basically, Lesnar failed I believe it was a doping...
The anti-doping policy.
Yeah, the anti-doping policy. He failed before his fight with Mark Hunt, and I have a feeling since John Jones failed his drug test with his fight with Dan Cormier, they probably didn't want that to come out. So, I have a feeling that UFC had to have known. If they knew about John Jones, they knew about Lesnar. So, that got pushed back, and then it got released after his fight. Then he failed the second one. But WWE is still, they're still going to let him fight at SummerSlam. Which I have, I was getting pretty heated about this whenever we ended the last podcast where we were covering the Cruiserweight Classic. But what I was going to get into is this. Since in the past 10 years, WWE has put way more of a spotlight on their drug policy. Like their concussion tests, their drug policies and such, which is great, which is fine. It's gotten a lot of guys the help that they need, like the Hardys. It's gotten people to realize when they had to be done with wrestling, unfortunately, like in the case of Daniel Bryan. But whenever WWE has a star like Brock Lesnar who fails a test not once but twice, that does not look good on WWE. It makes them look like a shit company. If I ran any type of sports thing, like let's say I run a hockey league, and I find out like the biggest star in the league is doping, they're getting suspended on the spot. If you look at what the NFL is doing right now with Tom Brady, he's still suspended. He is easily the biggest player in the NFL, still suspended. Roger Goodell is not sitting at home wondering, oh, if Brady doesn't play, none of the money's going to still go in. No, because they know people are still going to watch the product. Now, I'm never one to understand how WWE politics work Frankly, I'm some 20-something-year-old wrestling fan who lives in New Mexico who does a podcast. I'm not a legal expert, I'm not a drug expert, I'm not a business expert. But it makes the WWE seem so illegitimate. It makes them look weak by doing nothing. And also by proxy, the UFC. The UFC has nothing to say about it. The WWE has had nothing to say about it. I know we've talked about how the commissions in said states hear that the fight for the UFC came out, and for wherever SummerSlam is going to be, they can take the legal action that they want. But the fact that WWE wants to suspend Roman Reigns for 30 days for a wellness policy violation, which he deserved, and he took with full responsibility, fuck kayfabe. I respect the way Roman Reigns took his suspension, and Brock Lesnar doesn't get the same treatment. To me, excuse my French here for our younger listeners, is fucking bullshit. The fact that people who are working their ass off get wellness policy violations and take them fine, that's perfectly fine. But whenever they make exceptions for the people who are going to bring in the most money and be the monster like Brock Lesnar is, and they still don't get what the company policy for that violation is ludicrous. And WWE is making themselves seem weaker by the minute. This is how the wellness policy got so bad in the first place in the mid-2000s, and it's how it's going to get bad again.
Also, going back to making WWE look illegitimate, they didn't catch the doping violation. UFC did twice, and neither time WWE did.
Yeah, which brings up a lot of questions about the WWE physician staff and a bunch of stuff like that. And I know it's been brought into question before, like the unfortunate death of Chris Benoit. Whenever CM Punk went to the company and put Dr. Amon on the spot, it's been brought up a lot. And seeing this happen again is ridiculous to me, because there were a lot of backstage rumors. I can't confirm any of them because of the fact that, again, I don't work for the WWE, and I have no affiliation with anyone who works in the WWE. But they were saying how whenever Roman Reigns got his suspension, he had to go apologize to the whole locker room, the whole shebang like that, which is fine. If that's the trainer's way of dealing with things in WWE, that's their own way. I'm not in the business. But when a part-timer like Brock Lesnar does it, and it's not addressed, and it's not brought up, that's bullshit. Like how we're going to talk about in the draft. It was a rumor that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be the number 1 pick, but then they dropped him down. Like, his punishment was dropping down to number 15 in the fucking draft because of the fact that
Number 8
in the draft. Still, the fact that was his punishment. He wasn't picked first for kickball. Fuck that. If you guys want to act like a room full of adults who do something very serious as the art of professional wrestling, that can be very dangerous sometimes, and that many people have died either doing, or people have died due to drugs from causing bad policy within the companies that they said work for, that's whenever I take offense as a fan. Because once a wrestler retires, I'm still a fan of said wrestler. Like, I will be a Mick Foley fan until the day I die. I will be a Undertaker fan until the day I die. I'll be a CM Punk fan till the day I die. But I will leave that company alone if I know that it's not treating A, its wrestlers well enough, or B, they're not treated everybody as equals, which I get it, have a bigger draw and some things are of exception. But at this point, it gets ridiculous to where a man fails 2 drug tests and WWE does nothing about it.
This also speaks to what is the future of Brock Lesnar, not just in WWE, but in also UFC. Because if it does come up that he did fail both of whatever substance, then he faces up to a 2-year ban. And he's 39, and he just came back from what was like a 5-year hiatus, a little bit. So would he be done with UFC at that point?
I mean, anything's possible. They have people who are over their 50s fighting in MMA, whether it be for UFC or not, and that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to Brock Lesnar, I've seen it. It's not just his character. Brock Lesnar cares about Brock Lesnar, which is fine. If I was making the money that dude's doing, I would say fuck everybody else. Like, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make the most cash, which he makes a butt ton of money working for WWE, and he made a butt ton of money for that UFC fight because he's that big of a draw. But there's got to be a point to where you wanting X thing has to come with some repercussions when you're willing to take it to that level.
Do you think they're going to do anything with him, even though he was part of the draft? Are they going to do anything with him after his fight with Randy Orton at SummerSlam?
I could definitely see them keeping him.
Because also, with that part, Paul Heyman's contract expired, and at this point, I don't know if he had renewed his contract or just let it expire and not go back. So if he doesn't renew it and Brock Lesnar does come back, then it's just going to be Brock Lesnar with no mouthpiece, and that really... Paul Heyman was half of the draw of Brock Lesnar.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, I've seen Brock Lesnar wrestle without Paul Heyman, and it's not the best it could be.
Because part of the draw of Brock Lesnar is the mythology behind the Beast.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman is the guy, he's almost a prophet of the mythology of the Beast. And without Paul Heyman, it's just the guy. And don't get me wrong, the guy, he's great at what he does. You know, he's big, he's intimidating, and he's a spectacle. But without the mythology behind it, it's just, he won't be that much of a draw to me personally.
Yeah,
and maybe
exactly.
to a lot of other people.
Exactly. A lot of the times you can have a great wrestler who's great in the ring technically, but unless he has that charismatic personality, he's boring as shit. Brock Lesnar without Paul Heyman, in my opinion, is boring as shit. I love his late work without Paul Heyman, like his match with was he with Paul Heyman whenever he faced Kurt Angle at WrestleMania?
At WrestleMania 19?
Yeah.
I want to say yes, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, some of his early work was great, but at a certain point, you have to ask, when it comes to this product that's supposed to bring in X amount of money and it's not living up to those expectations in a work environment, how much are you willing to give up?
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see where this goes. But I don't think WWE is the kind of company that's just going to ignore a big draw like that. You know, they're going to keep him on because Lesnar, he brings in the viewership, he brings in the money, regardless of what drug tests he failed for another company. Unless he failed for something of theirs, they don't care. They're going to keep him on.
True, yeah.
So, any final words with that before we move on?
It's weird to talk about something serious on this podcast because usually you and I are just cutting the shit.
Yeah, but it's important to we can't really ignore these things.
Yeah,
you know, when they happen, because it doesn't just so much affect the UFC world; it also affects the wrestling world. Because I don't want to say they're almost one and the same, but at some point they intertwine.
Yeah, definitely.
They're almost like in presentation and feel of like a fight feel. They're almost the same.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So when something like this happens in the UFC with someone who was as important to the UFC as he was in WWE, we have to bring it up, we have to mention it. So I think it is important that we talk about these things and where they take the wrestling world. So I guess that's my parting words with that.
Now, back to the dick jokes.
Dick jokes.
Dick jokes for days, guys.
Moving on to Brother Levron. When I saw this match, when I saw the final deletion, I called you up. And I said, Brother Levron, our final thoughts on this match must be documented. And then you opened my door to my apartment and I came in and said, Brother Levron, I knew you'd come. And here we sit today to talk about the final deletion. That was my Matt Hardy British impression.
That's very nice, Alex.
Did you like it?
It was very nice.
Can I get a gold star?
You can get a Frappuccino.
Oh yeah, by the way, Grant was nice enough to bring me a Frappuccino. He didn't have to. Damn, Grant, you're the best.
But then whenever I saw all those charges on my Starbucks card, you know what I said? Delete! Delete! Delete!
Wow, totally fucked up the capture there. Love it.
Awesome, we're so gonna peak.
Matt Hardy. Broken Matt Hardy.
Broken Matt Hardy, to be specific.
Siri, please, can you suck a dick and fuck off?
What the hell?
Oh my god, so
Siri caught all of that, by the way. My phone straight up just had a paragraph on it of every single thing Alex just said.
That is fantastic. Broken Matt Hardy versus Brother Nero for the final deletion of TNA Impact Wrestling. I haven't really been following TNA for years. I don't think really anybody has.
Okay, to be frankly honest, last night, because of the final deletion match, I watched an episode of Impact Wrestling.
Did you really?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Who the fuck decided to put a microphone in Bobby Lashley's hands? Because they need to be shot.
Wait, Bobby Lashley's still there?
Bobby Lashley's the champion.
Get the fuck out of my face.
It ended with a champion versus champion match for the belt with him and the guy, whoever the X Division champion was. His name's like Eddie Edwards.
Wow, okay.
Eddie. It was a 6-side of steel match, which is a normal steel cage match, except you can't win by climbing out of the cage.
You can only win by a pinfall or submission?
Basically.
That's a little weird. Didn't we just have one of those in WWE?
Yeah. It's
where you know what? It was the Asylum match.
Yeah, it was the Asylum match, but you can still technically escape.
But you can escape because there's not a top.
Yeah.
You just can't win that way.
It would have been better if they just made like a smaller Hell in a Cell, but that's besides the point. Brother Nero needs to be discussed.
See, you brought up a good point. You brought up the fact, I was going to talk about this, the final deletion is doing something for TNA hasn't done for itself in a long ass time, is promote
definitely.
TNA. Like, I saw the contract signing a few months back.
Where they put him through an actual table. Like, it was a dining room table. It looks like
It was a card table.
It kind of looks like the dining room table my parents have.
Like the rotating card table kind of
deal?
It was scary as shit.
It was, really, because I'm like, damn, that's like real oak.
Yeah. And that's when I was introduced to the Broken Matt Hardy character, and I immediately fell in love. This was the greatest wrestling persona that I've seen in, like, years.
I'm not going to lie. This is better than Matt Hardy version 1.
Definitely. I like Matt Hardy version 1.
And totally better than ex-stalker boyfriend Matt Hardy.
Yeah. Matt Hardy's had a few hit and misses, but this one is fucking a fucking home run.
Yeah, which, the thing about the final deletion was this. 1, it got TNA some type of press. 2, it got mixed reviews, but I think that's fine. Because after watching it, and after I watched that episode of TNA Impact, they know what it is. It's very self-aware. It's kind of like Blazing Saddles-esque, to where it's kind of satire on the whole, like, mentally deranged wrestler thing, which I can kind of appreciate. And they literally call him Broken Matt Hardy. He is broken.
It's very much like that movie we all watched. What was it, Rubber?
Rubber, yeah.
Where it knows that it's shit.
But it's okay with
It's
that.
okay. Except, unlike Rubber, the Broken Matt Hardy Brother Nero saga, it gets better as it goes on. Whereas Rubber just kind of fucking tanks and falls as it goes on.
And also, no one eats a poisonous chicken for some fucking reason.
It was a turkey, Grant.
Oh, turkey, yes.
It was poisonous turkey.
Yes. But anyway...
Why were they in the desert?
I have no idea.
Go watch Rubber, and then comment on the podcast below on your thoughts on Rubber.
Totally.
It's a 5-hour movie. It's like an hour and a half, but it feels like fucking 5 hours. It gets so boring at some point.
Have fun with that. Do some drugs while doing it. JK, LOL, don't do drugs, kids. Drugs, not hugs. Hugs, not drugs, sorry.
Bailey
would have my ass right now.
Drugs, not hugs. So, let's just do a fucking Cliff Notes version of the final deletion. We start off with Broken Matt Hardy, Rebby Sky, and little Maxwell at his first birthday.
Yeah, where no one was there for some reason.
Nobody had to be there.
No one
All
was
he needs is his family and his family legacy.
No one was at this child's birthday party. I mean, he's one, but like, I show up to people's first birthday parties.
Who does fucking Broken Matt Hardy hang out with?
His wife and Senor Benjamin, apparently.
And they were there.
Yeah. By the way, I love Senor Benjamin. He needs to get a push now. I want to see, damn it, I can't say to put the U.S. title on him. Put the X Division title on Senor Benjamin.
I think if there was a weight class with the X Division, he can probably match it.
Yeah, totally.
Put him in the Cruiserweight Classic.
There you go. I want to see him in the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic.
Put every fucking title on: the TV title, the World Heavyweight title, the Women's title.
He can now become the new Triple H, Senor Benjamin. And I want him to dress exactly like he did here. In like fucking gardener clothing.
So they're having this birthday, correct? And Senor Benjamin comes in with this present. And Matt takes the present, and Rebby goes to talk to Senor Benjamin. Fun side note, the character of Senor Benjamin is played by Rebby's father.
Yeah, and Rebby and Matt are actually married, by the way.
Yeah, that's impressive. Good for Matt. Like,
yeah, seriously. Like, she is not a bad lady.
She is smoking. And so they're discussing in Spanish. And the whole deal is that Rebby knows that Matt's fucking insane, and she acknowledges that he's insane, but in Spanish. And the fact that Matt doesn't know Spanish, he just thinks that she's just going along with everything he does. And so Matt opens the present, and it is an extraordinary xylophone. And it was an extraordinary xylophone.
It was quite extraordinary. I'm pretty sure it was like one of those ones that looks like a caterpillar.
It was a caterpillar xylophone.
Oh my god.
There were, I think, at least 8 different keys.
Oh my god, that is a premium xylophone.
All
sir.
different colors.
Oh my god.
Not only will Maxwell, also that's a fucking weird name. Only Matt Hardy would name this kid Maxwell.
Yeah, fucking Maxwell.
Not Maxwell, not Max Bartholomew, Maxwell.
Yeah, and then after that, Jeff Hardy is like cutting his lawn in like weird Jeff Hardy designs.
He's cutting it in the design that I used to have. You never seen these pictures, but when I was a sophomore in high school, I had flame designs on my beard.
Oh boy.
I feel like he just mowed a lawn in my face.
Probably. And then he just randomly is like, after I'm done cutting my grass, I should go play my guitar in my house.
In my very blue house.
In my very blue house that, like, look, Jeff, we know it's your guest house. Stop pretending like you're not rich.
I'm looking at his house, and as much as I like the blue, it's very off-putting. Imagine if you just came into my house and my walls were just fucking blue.
I'd be pretty freaked out, but not as freaked out as whenever Matt Hardy sent drones. Fucking drones with holograms to Jeff Hardy's house.
He sent Vanguard 1. We'll get back to Vanguard 1 in a sec, but he sent fucking killer drones to take out Brother Nero.
And then Brother Nero took out his guitar Jeff fucking Jarrett style and just started swinging at him.
The El Kabong style.
There you go. And then he chased them to the balcony. But see, this is the part that's off-putting for me. He gets on his dirt bike and chases them because the Hardy home is surrounded by like a giant lake, which is cool. So he follows the drone to there. But then we cut to Matt Hardy riding lawnmower, which, by the way, with the best gesture I've ever seen anyone riding a lawnmower with his hands just wide open, just staring.
Drink it in, man. He had the fucking Rose on Titanic pose.
There you go. Just imagine that, but on a lawnmower and like a crazy ass dude in his late 30s. But then I realized something. Matt is mowing down his like wonderful flame design grass while Jeff is still on the property.
He didn't cross the property.
Yeah, he didn't go onto the lake. He's still on the property. So I can just imagine Jeff turns around and is like, "What are you doing?" And then he just like jumps off and clumsily runs away as the lawnmower's going.
I wish that was in the video.
That would have been great.
It's like Matt just doing stupid shit and Jeff like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" And they're like, "Ha!" And then he twirls his mustache and then he runs away.
And so then, anyway, later on, we get to the actual the preparing of the battlefield.
From massacre, we cut to Senor Benjamin preparing the battleground for death, for carnage,
with fucking fireworks,
kendo sticks,
and
tiki lights,
and apparently shrubbery, like vines on a fence, like that type of shrubbery.
And then Robeast guy comes in. No, first he's digging a fucking hole. I assume he put mines there that weren't activated during the match.
By the way, what fucking wrestling match is like, oh, by the way, it's a landmine match, have fun?
Japan, probably.
Honestly, probably, yeah.
So Rebby comes in. She goes, Senor Benjamin, what the hell are you doing? And he goes, preparing the battleground for massacre. As if like, what the fuck else would I be doing right now?
It's not like I get paid for anything else, like cutting the grass or anything.
Yeah.
By the way, why do I have to pretend to be the groundskeeper? I'm your fucking father.
You think you didn't want to be a part of this?
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck no, I don't want to be a part of this crazy ass shit.
What? If my daughter's husband wanted to kill her brother, I'll be all on for it.
I honestly wouldn't.
Anyway, and then Matt comes in, and he goes, "This is the final gasoline from my earlier lawn mowing escapades. Please apply it generously to the battlefield." And then they fucking run off. And then I believe this is where we cut to the night.
Yeah, the night just goes from day to night in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and Matt is in the ring with a violin. A referee. He is dumbfounded at what he sees. He sees lights, fire, a ring, and a lone forest.
It's kind of like whenever you show up to a party and your friend's like, "Yeah, man, we're just here having a few beers," and then someone pulls out Coke. It's like, what the fuck?
What is this? Is my best impression of the referee.
There you go.
And then he goes in the ring to talk to Broken Matt. Broken Matt says, "Are you the referee I saw in my premonition? Are you a licensed referee?" The guy goes, "Yeah."
Wait, I didn't know they had licensed referees. Is there referee school?
I mean, we can probably take an online class to be referees.
I can take an online class to be a lot of things.
Yeah, we can probably be ministers. We can marry people.
Yeah, no. Yeah, totally.
Like we said in an earlier podcast, if you want to get married on the podcast, we can do it. We can be ordained ministers.
Yeah, totally. Feel free. Oh, and then I can be Reverend Devon.
You can be Reverend Levron.
There you go.
Reverend
Boom.
Levron.
Anyway.
And I can be Deacon Michael.
There you go.
Anyway, so he asks if he's a licensed official. The man says, yes, I am. Then Broken Matt says, you have but one job. That is to count the pinfall or record the submission.
And the dude just looking at him like, yeah, no shit.
Wait, that's 2 jobs. And then...
I didn't sign up for this shit.
And then Matt goes, do not, and I repeat, do not, under any circumstances, resuscitate Brother Nero. He must be deleted.
Delete.
And then he brings out the violin. That, according to Broken Matt, was given to him by his friend Antonio Stradivari. And he needed to summon the demon Brother Nero.
Which he was showing up anyway.
Was he, though? I'm giving Broken Matt Hardy the benefit of the doubt. He plays the violin. And then the demon Brother Nero appears. So, I am very glad that Antonio Stradivari had a fucking mystical violin that he didn't share it to the world, but he gave it to Broken Matt Hardy.
Totally. And that's just the cherry on top of it. Then Jeff comes on a dirt bike for some fucking reason.
How do you get past his own moat?
I have no fucking idea. I'm at this point, I'm beyond not understanding what the fuck wrestling is anymore.
You think he came back to his lawn and just saw like this one not entirely mowed streak in his lawn? Because Matt didn't go all the way around, I don't think. He just went this one long streak and then just left.
Yeah, no, and he just left the lawnmower there. Which, by the way, Matt, if that's your lawnmower, you should probably go get that back, dude.
Yeah, he totally just fucking left it at Brother Nero's house.
Yeah, totally.
And then the match begins. It is very much Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Was this match. The match itself, not too much to say about it. They were doing things that required pops, of which there were none because there was no fucking audiences around.
Yeah.
Much like Jeff doing the usual thing where he keeps his shirt on for a little bit of the match and then he takes it off and throws it. Which is weird if there's no one to cheer for it.
Yeah, seriously, like, who's catching that? Like, Senor Benjamin? He's like, oh, I caught Jeff Hardy's shirt.
In Spanish. Say it in Spanish, Grant. I dare you to say something racist. Go ahead.
No, Alex! Don't stop trying to bury me on the podcast. By the way, I just got sent a picture of Bernie Sanders coming in with the money in the bank briefcase to the DNC. I just want to share that real quick. Anyhow, so they're wrestling and shit, and then like they both hit the twist of fate like right out the fucking bat. Like,
no respect for wrestling. These kids nowadays.
No respect. And then he does the swanton bomb from a tree onto, by the way, a real ladder. This is not like
ghetto ass ladder.
Ghetto ass ladder that I probably have back in my house in the fucking hood.
He misses, by the way.
Yeah.
But we're meant to believe that he actually hit Matt. But he hit the back of his fucking head from a giant-ass tree to this ladder, and then went for the pinfall and kicked out.
Yeah, and then they roll out the ring, and then there's fireworks, and then, like...
Don't undersell these fireworks, Grant. These were fucking Roman candle machine guns.
Ooh, yeah, good point.
When Matt found this fucking Roman candle machine gun, he shot it at Brother Nero. And Brother Nero has a fucking garbage can lid to defend himself with. And after the fireworks have settled and everything, the ring looked like the field of Normandy, man. Everyone is dead. There's smoke everywhere. People lost an arm. They're carrying dead bodies. And
how many people were watching this match? Because I don't remember these many people.
Do you see how many camera cuts there were?
True, good point.
There must have been cameramen to cut those camera cuts.
True.
Anyhow, so then Broken Matt Hardy's looking for Brother Nero. Brother Nero, where are you? Oh, shit!
And then he has, like, a Roman candle himself, and he's like, I'm gonna do the same thing.
And then he did the same thing.
And then they ended up going to the boat, which, by the way, is now Matt Hardy's new best friend.
He found a dilapidated boat.
And he was starting to guard it and stuff, and then Jeff had said the thing that I've always wanted to say to both of them about this match, was, I'm sick of this shit, and, like, he throws the boat. Which, what the fuck is that boat made out of if he's able to throw it?
Adamantium.
There you go. And he, like, starts wrestling him and shit. And then Senor Benjamin comes from behind with a fucking taser.
Wait, you missed the most important part. They do a headlock into the river.
Into the river.
Matt comes up. He goes, I have deleted Brother Nero. You hear a cackle. And here comes Will-O-the-Wisp. And then Senior Benjamin comes with the taser.
Yeah, which, by the way, one, Jeff, how did you change that quickly? Two,
he's a demon! Don't you remember he used the violin to summon the demon Brother Nero?
but also, Senor Benjamin, why are you tasing people near fucking water?
I hope they thought about that, because that was actually pretty scary the first time I saw it.
Yeah, seriously. And then, so then Matt goes for the pin for Willow. And then he gets up and he gets a 3 count. He's like, yes. And he takes off the mask. And then it turns into Senor Benjamin.
Has Senor Benjamin been Willow this whole time?
I sure as God hope so. Or like that would make the most sense.
What would have made a better sense? What would have been great for me and everyone around me if he took off the mask and it was Maxwell.
Oh my God, that would have been great. Like Maxwell in a full-size Jeff Hardy Will-O-in-the-Wisp suit.
And then Maxwell, because he's 1 year old, he's looking around, doesn't know what the fuck is happening.
Like, why the fuck are you just on me, Dad?
Why is this my dad?
Can I switch dads?
Can I be Jeff's dad? Or can he be my dad? Actually, Max was to be Jeff's dad. He's probably a bit more responsible than Jeff.
True.
Anyway, so Jeff comes in, they're wrestling, and then he chokes him out in the fucking minefield.
Yeah, like for some reason there's a dirt bike track, which they're at Matt's house, not Jeff's.
I think that's where he broke his leg.
Yeah, probably.
And then, almost like a gravestone, there's a Jeff Hardy logo made of steel. And he looks at it. It's morning now.
Yeah, it's basically dawn.
I mean, fuck WrestleMania 12 with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man. These are the real Iron Man.
Yeah,
they've been wrestling for 8 hours?
Yeah, totally. That's a real Iron Man match.
8 hours nonstop. People almost died, Grant.
True. And so anyway, Jeff climbs to the top of this symbol. And then, so they lit Maxwell's birthday cake at the start of the party. And it's still in perfect condition, not melted. And then, like, his wife hands it to Matt. And you remember that gasoline? Well, guess what he soaked it in?
Maxwell's birthday fire.
So he throws the candle. The track is set aflame. It set aflame to Jeff, which, by the way, when he fell from that to get away from the fire, took the hardest bump.
On the hardest fucking pile of dirt.
Yeah, seriously.
It looked no fun.
Yeah, seriously, like, he could have fell forward and, like, got on some of the soft track. Like, nope. Just on the fucking rocks.
They're the Hardys. Why the fuck would they do anything safe?
True.
If I was watching that live, I would have assumed he was dead.
Yeah, I would have been like, well,
I saw a man die today. How you doing? And then Matt got the pinfall.
Matt got the damn pinfall.
Broken Matt Hardy now owns the Hardy brand.
And deleted Brother Nero, even though he's still alive and is still on TNA Impact.
But I know you're tired of us talking about Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy. We're not done yet. We have to talk about the aftermath.
Oh, yes, the aftermath with Matt Hardy's weird, really fat butler.
The next day.
It's
beautiful morning. I assume he didn't sleep.
By the way, whoever does the production for TNA Impact, you deserve a fucking award, because they make shit look amazing.
I bet that was fucking all Matt Hardy and his shit, because that's all they ever want to do was, like, make movies and shit.
Yeah, really.
Had to have been. And so, it's the next day. Not Brother Nero. Matt Hardy has a bag of Brother Nero's materialistic possessions. And he goes to the dilapidated boat. And he says, "Dilapidated boat, you are more than just that, a dilapidated boat. You shielded me from the fires of Brother Nero. I think I should give you a name. I will call you Skarsgård."
I don't understand what Matt Hardy is. I know he's broken, but I don't understand what he is.
He's revolutionary, Grant. You have to understand that. This man has a vision.
I mean, there was Shawn Michaels' ladder match with Razor Ramon. There was the invention of the Royal Rumble. There was the Undertaker streak, and then there was the final deletion.
I would have ranked the final deletion above all those any day.
Oh, really?
And so Matt is in the middle of the lake, and he's dumping all of Brother Nero's materialistic possessions into the lake. And then Vanguard 1, which apparently is the name of the fucking drone that attacked Jeff Hardy.
Drone. I thought it was like...
It's sentient.
Yeah.
It's alive. It brings him Jeff Hardy's shirt that he ripped. Apparently when he threw it, Vanguard 1 caught it. And so he dumps everything. He goes back to his house.
I should just think of Vanguard 1 going home and, like, sleeping in that shirt. And like, his robot wife comes home and is like, "What the fuck is this?" And he's like, Don't shame me in who I love.
Do you think those drones that attacked Jeff was his children? Did Jeff kill his children?
Oh my god.
We're asking the real questions here on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have what I assume is a recreation of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I truly believe that Matt Hardy would take the time to create a home theater for himself and have his baby room have a secret door that also has a secret panel with a fucking fireman's pole to go into the movie room.
I mean, fuck a tracking device on your kid. That's the way you keep your kid safe.
Yeah, no, this kid's gonna start walking soon. If he's not already walking, he's gonna walk into that fucking fireman's pole and just biff it.
Maybe. And then his mom put him on his back and he slid down there, which, by the way, easy way to crack your kid's head fucking open. You lean back 1 inch and just...
Yeah, that pole, or the hole near the pole needs to be like 2 inches fucking wider.
Yeah, totally. So, anyway, they watched the match with apparently Matt Hardy's friends.
He has friends.
He has friends, apparently.
Matt Hardy has friends.
Broken Matt Hardy has friends, which none of us know who the fuck they are.
But they're watching this match in total awe and shock. And Maxwell is sitting there thinking, is this my legacy? Destruction? Pain? Brother Nero? He's watching it like this is his family legacy. And then after it was all done, Broken Matt Hardy got everyone to chant, delete, delete, delete. And his fat ass butler, he's earning a paycheck. He's making the best fucking facial expressions. He's into it. He is smiling. He's having a great fucking time.
Hashtag Broken Matt Hardy's butler for TNA champion.
I would be down.
I would totally be down.
He's going to be a character in 3 weeks. Watch. They cut to dinner. Again, more delete, delete, delete.
And also, apparently, green beans are a fucking delicacy.
That lady, did you catch her name? It's Rita.
Rita.
It's Senor Rita, as in Senorita.
Senorita, and then she's like, I'm not fucking Spanish, I'm Armenian, you asshole.
Wonderful!
Wonderful!
That has to be fucking, like, everyone in that room must have been related to Rebby. Because
Totally.
no one would fucking, like, she'd be like, yeah, my husband's doing a thing, can you just, please,
Please, sweetie, Matt's doing this thing and he really wants someone to help support him.
That must have been, like, her fucking niece.
Yeah,
or
totally.
something.
Like, it's just like, hey, babe, so I left my $100,000 a year job to pursue acting, and I want to direct my own movies. And then she's just like, fuck, can you just fucking star in this with him? Like fuck, I'll give you $100. Just do it.
And then that's really all we got from the final deletion. But
Yay.
we have to talk about its effects. I had a lot of fucking fun watching it.
Same, yeah.
I won't even classify it as so bad it's good. I will classify it as so good that it's great. I had a lot of fun watching it. It was when you give two guys who are as crazy as Matt and Jeff total creative control to do whatever the fuck they want and have fun with it, and you get good press, you get good reviews. I don't fucking understand this mixed review shit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's the first wrestling angle that is self-aware, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, like, everyone wants to take themselves so fucking seriously. But here are these guys who are like, yeah, we know we're doing something crazy and weird, but fucking we're having fun, so you should have fun too with us. And yeah, I had a lot of fucking fun watching it. And I'm gonna watch it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Today.
Totally.
That's all I'm doing for the rest of the day. Fuck Pokemon Go. I'm watching Final Deletion Go.
I don't know about Final Deletion Go. You just find dilapidated boats.
Oh my god, yes. Let's make the app where you have to fucking face your phone to dilapidated boats.
Skarsgård.
And shoot fireworks at them.
Skarsgård CP1000. Oh my god.
Oh god. How much would the drones be if you could catch drones?
50 apiece.
50 a piece?
50 apiece.
That's actually not bad. They broke pretty easily.
Because Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, he is the one, the only. But yeah, I recommend it. Just go watch the Final Deletion, have a lot of fun with it, invite some friends over. It's the room of wrestling.
Totally. Like, it's so
out there, but it's sincere.
Yeah.
You didn't think for a sec, it was like, they were like, we're making a masterpiece. It's sincere, it's fun. Just watch it with a bunch of friends who don't know anything about wrestling.
Because that's going to be the greatest part.
I almost showed my uncle when I was in Chicago.
Oh my god.
But we never got around to it, and I wish I did. So I guess we're moving on to... This is going to be a long-ass fucking podcast. We have a fucking shit
Yeah,
to talk
seriously,
about.
because we still have the draft and Battleground to talk about.
We're just going to fucking rip through these, I think.
Yeah.
So, there are... Apparently for the draft, there are really weird rules where the Raw has the first overall pick for any round. For every 2 SmackDown picks, Raw gets 3. Tag teams can count as 1 unless a commissioner or a GM only wants 1 member of the team. Which, by the way, is pretty fucking stupid. I know I can get 3 men for the price of 1, but I only want 1 of you. And 6 draft picks have to come from NXT. And
Which, by the way, with that, they did not clarify which 6. Because, fuck it. If I'm Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, first pick is Shinsuke Nakamura. Or Finn Balor. Or, fuck it, Samoa Joe.
I believe that those guys weren't going to be called up, except Finn in a sec. But I know that none of the champions from NXT are going to be called over. Because they're still the champions, you have to lose it and all that fun stuff. And I don't think Asuka is going to be called up for a while because they still want her to do that whole streak thing for a while. So I guess we're moving on to the first round. The first overall draft pick, Seth Rollins. Of course.
Yeah, figures.
I should probably mention that the commissioner and GMs were out on like podiums, and the SmackDown and Raw, or the SmackDown commissioner and GM was Daniel Bryan and Shane out. The Raw GM and commissioner was Mick Foley and Stephanie.
By the way, I don't know if it's the character she's trying to portray or whatever, but Stephanie McMahon was annoying as shit during the draft. I just wanted Mick Foley to stuff Mr. Sacco in her fucking mouth and tell her to shut up.
You have some weird fetishes, dude.
I got problems.
The second pick was Dean Ambrose, the WWE champion, which you'd think, since he's the fucking champion, that he'd be number 1. But Stephanie was so cocky and confident in Seth that she figured, because there's a championship match later, that Seth would have won the championship that night and become the champion.
Storyline-wise, it kind of makes sense for Stephanie McMahon, but at the same time, you don't have the belt on your brand.
True.
That doesn't make sense.
Number 3, the women's champion, Charlotte. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, I'm actually really surprised that the women are getting the 3rd overall pick. Mm-hmm. That's actually pretty impressive in the first round. The next, we have AJ Styles. And then the final pick for Raw is Finn Balor from NXT. Finn Balor and AJ Styles above Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Randy Orton.
See, this makes me nervous. Because after watching Monday Night Raw last night and seeing the push Finn is getting right now, it is scary. Because one, either it's going to end up great for Finn or it's going to end up terribly. Because we all know what happened with the last babyface that they tried to push this hard, Roman Reigns.
But no one liked him before. That's the difference.
True.
Round 2, we have Roman Reigns roundly booed on Raw. And then we have John Cena, Brock Lesnar for Raw. For SmackDown gets Randy Orton, and Raw picked the whole New Day as a team. I was worried that they were going to break up a lot of teams, and they really didn't.
Yeah.
The only team they broke up was the Club. And even then, it was the Club and AJ. You know. And then for round 3, we have Sami Zayn for Raw. Okay, for Raw, we have Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Chris Jericho. For SmackDown, we have Bray Wyatt, no family, and Becky Lynch. Round 4, for Raw, we have Rusev with Lana, Kevin Owens, Enzo, and Cass. This also worried me. I was terrified that they would fucking...
Which, by the way, it's strange seeing Carmella went to SmackDown.
Yeah.
But Enzo and Cass stayed with Raw.
What are they going to do? I talked about this because I had some ideas who they're going to call from NXT. Carmella really wasn't one of them. I'm like, what's Carmella going to do without Enzo and Cass? Like, she was like not doing too much. Like,
yeah, seriously. And then once they left, she was able to come into her own. So maybe she's going to carry that over.
Yeah. For SmackDown, for round 4, we have The Miz with Maurice and Baron Corbin. Hooray for SmackDown, I guess.
Yay!
Round 5, we have The Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson as a team for Raw, Big Show for Raw, and Nia Jax from NXT.
Which is very surprising, actually.
I was surprised as well, because I said for a long time that I don't think Nia is as ready, you know, as a lot of other people. And I thought, like I mentioned before, that she should have went back to just developmental for a bit, get away, because she was on a losing streak. She lost every really big match.
Yeah, totally.
So she doesn't really come off looking as dominant, and then she comes back after like a month and just destroys everybody. She doesn't win a championship, but she just destroys everyone, looks monstrous, and then goes up to the main roster.
True.
And then for round 5 for SmackDown, we have the American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. That is fucking phenomenal.
I know, right? That is an amazing pick, first of all.
Yeah, and then Dolph Ziggler, which is a weird grouping. Weird grouping of people for SmackDown, American Alpha and Dolph Ziggler. I'm surprised that Dolph is up so high.
Yeah, seriously, over a lot of other people.
Yeah. And hold on, let me get out my other notes. Talk about something, Grant. Never mind, I got it. So,
damn it, I was going to confess my love for someone.
Who was that, Grant, real quick?
But we have the draft to talk about, so...
Okay, you can tell me after the podcast.
Totally.
Round 6 for Raw, we have Neville, Cesaro, and Sheamus. Very upsetting that Cesaro was like so low, even though it's halfway through. But
And also that he's on Raw.
I would have really preferred him on SmackDown.
Actually, he cut a very well-spoken shoot promo about how he believes SmackDown is going to be more about the wrestling, but Raw is more about, the character. And he wanted to be on SmackDown, which is true. Cesaro isn't that big of a character wrestler, but he's more of a technical guy, which I would assume he has a perfect place on SmackDown, but apparently not.
I think he would have done way better on SmackDown because Vince has his pulse on Raw and he will fucking do everything he can to make it his show. I don't think he cares too much about SmackDown.
He doesn't give a shit about SmackDown.
You would have more creative freedom on SmackDown. People will get more eyes to them on SmackDown, so I was a little disappointed with that. And for SmackDown, we have Natalya and Alberto Del Rio. Those are kind of picks. As much as I like Natalya, as much as I kind of tolerate Alberto Del Rio.
They're just kind of roster fillers.
Yeah, now we're getting into the roster fillers. For round 7, we have, for Raw, the Golden Truth as a team. Why the fuck aren't they already split up?
Why do I still give a shit?
Titus O'Neil. I bet he's still on Raw, just so Vince can just keep fucking poking him for fucking grabbing him.
I thought it was something horrible. Like, it's a gimmick now that he kisses his son on the mouth. That's his gimmick.
He's just gonna kiss his kid on the mouth every match.
Yeah, every single match. Like, we just want your dad to kiss you.
They take him out of school to fly him everywhere.
Totally.
Or they can have like a hologram Vanguard 1 style.
Oh god, I'm a horrible person.
And then finally we have Paige for Raw. For SmackDown,
Which is sorry. Side note: all the real life couples, they split up. Alberto Del Rio's on SmackDown, Paige is on Raw, Carmella's on SmackDown, and Zoe and Cass are on Raw. Just a slight note.
Natalya's on SmackDown. Tyson Kidd is injured.
I mean, there you go.
I mean, that's been a thing for a while, but still breaks my heart.
By the way, I didn't know like they were actually dating until I watched Total Divas.
I'm gonna ignore the fact that you just said you watched Total Divas.
I watched 2 seconds of it. I got a bowel disease, and then I had to stop.
You can keep convincing yourself that and just act like you didn't fucking watch all 3 seasons.
But Paige,
dude, she is like 1,000 years older than you.
Paige is only like 3 years older than us.
That's a lot.
Not really. I mean,
it's too much. She's basically dead.
What was the age difference between Vince McMahon and Trish Stratus?
Like 3 days.
That's not true at all. Anyway, so who did SmackDown get?
The Usos, who no one gave 2 shits about, and Kane. Hooray!
Wait, Corporate Kane or Demon Kane? Because they just said Kane.
They did just say Kane. I think the Demon.
I would love to see Corporate Kane on Raw and then being like, "Oh, hi guys," and then they're like, "What the fuck? Aren't you supposed to be on SmackDown?" I don't know what you're talking about. And then like no one ever addresses it ever again.
The Corporate Kane on Raw and Demon Kane on SmackDown.
Yes.
Eventually, they have to be a tag team.
Yes, Corporate Kane and Demon Kane.
Let's have Luke Gallows in the mask again. Let's keep it going.
Dear God, why?
For round 8, we have Darren Young with Bob Backlund, Sin Cara, and Jack Swagger on Raw. For SmackDown, Kalisto, Naomi, and The Ascension as a team. Kalisto did the greatest Sid Justice impression I have ever fucking seen.
He's now the luchador version of Sid Justice.
Holy shit. Like, it was
really bad.
It was insanely bad. I recommend pausing the podcast, go over to YouTube on Botchamania, and fucking watch it.
Watch it on repeat, then watch the final deletion on repeat and tell us which is better. Which, by the way, also, sorry, side note, I didn't know the Ascension were still on the roster.
They are, because you haven't noticed, because Connor was suspended for 30 days, I think.
Well,
no, 60 days.
Oh, wow, 60?
Yeah, I think it was a second suspension. I believe. I could be wrong. But it's incredible to not be able to be like, I am good, I do lucha, and then leave. He had a hard as fucking... It was the most awkward 30 seconds of your life.
All he straight up had to say was like, lucha, lucha, and then fucking bounce. That's all he had to do.
I think Sin Cara got the best deal from being able to not fucking talk.
It's true.
For round 9, for Raw, we have the Dudley Boys as a team. Summer Rae and Mark Henry. Round 9 for SmackDown, we have Zack Ryder, Apollo Crews, and Alexa Bliss coming up from NXT.
Coming back with another NXT pick. By the way, I think it's a crime how low Zack Ryder is in the draft.
Considering he, like at that point, he was a number 1 contender for the, what was it, the IC Championship?
No, the US Championship.
The US Championship. So how little do you fucking care about your... Going back... Darren Young was round 8, and he was number 1 contender for the IC Championship.
How is Sin Cara picked before Apollo Crews, before Zack Ryder? Hell, even Alberto Del Rio. They're putting, like, like they're putting the future and the actual wrestlers on SmackDown, but they're like, we like this guy, put him on Raw. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I called Alexa Bliss coming up from NXT. I called it because, like I said before, I think she's a bit more ready-ish. I wouldn't say she's totally ready, but I think she's a bit more ready than most of the girls there.
Yeah.
And she's not going to go for the title anytime soon.
Fuck
Let's
no,
be
they're
honest
probably
with
gonna
that.
put her with like Fandango and make her another Fandango girl.
Maybe. Round 10 for Raw, we have Braun Strowman, Bo Dallas, and the Shining Stars as a team.
Ah, who the fuck cares?
I care about none of these people except Bo.
Bo, yeah, because I believe. Do you believe?
I believe in a thing called love.
Totally.
And then for SmackDown, we have Breezango as a team. Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Eva Marie. Eva fucking Marie. And she counts as a pick from NXT. Did you know that?
Alex, I never wanted to do drugs, but when I found that out, I injected so many marijuanas.
In just the 2 seconds from when I told you to now?
No, whenever I found out Eva Marie was going to be on SmackDown, and I'm like, well, I'm sick of living, time to inject some marijuanas.
It's baffling. She fucking, like, quote-unquote, re-debuted at WrestleMania.
How do you re-debut?
Because she was on the main roster for a bit and then went back to NXT and everyone
Because
hated
everyone
her.
fucking hates her.
And then she came back at WrestleMania as the mystery face partner.
Imagine you have this friend who's in your friend group. You don't know why you hang out with them, but they're kind of pieces of shit. That's Eva Marie.
She's not even a friend.
Exactly.
She's an asshole.
She's an asshole that you hang out with because you know she has like some type of fucked up disorder.
Yo, you hang out with her because she has a cool car.
True.
And then finally for SmackDown, we had the Vaudevillains as a team.
Who the fuck cares?
And that's unfortunate because weren't they like in number one contendership for a while, like a month ago?
Yeah, really. And now we're like, who the fuck are the Vaudevillains?
Round 11, that's the final round, is for Raw, Elisa Fox, Dana Brooke, and Curtis Axel. And for SmackDown, we have Eric Rowan, Mojo Rawley from NXT, and Carmella from NXT. Of all the fucking NXT picks, I would put Mojo Rawley a little bit above Eva Marie.
Yeah, I mean...
Who the fuck gives two shits about Mojo Rawley? I sure as fuck don't.
I love the hype bros. Don't you... You better wash your dirty mouth out.
I like fucking Zack Ryder.
No, this is what we need. We need a heel Zack Ryder who's like evil Italiano, Long Island guy, and Mojo Rawley is like his friend who still thinks it's like 2008 in the Jersey Shore still a thing.
I just find it hilarious that they made it a point like, okay, NXT's coming up. The last two picks of the draft entirely was two NXT people. But granted, bottom of the barrel NXT people.
Yeah, seriously.
Even though Carmella gets a little bit of hype every now and then. Okay, sorry about that. We had to cut. The pest people came in to clear my apartment of pests, like Brother Nero and Eva Marie.
It turns out the pest guy is the mystery 12-round pick for Raw.
Speaking of undrafted people, Luke Harper.
Well, he's injured.
Still. Brock Lesnar's drugging up.
But he's not injured.
He injured his fucking career.
I got punched by a crackhead once. That still doesn't make that crackhead injured.
You have to tell me that story later. Undertaker, I know he's technically not full roster, but
yeah,
neither is Brock.
And then also Heath Slater.
The biggest upset in wrestling history, Heath Slater, undrafted. He is the hottest free agent in pro wrestling today.
He is the only free agent for WWE.
Bobby Roode.
But he's on NXT.
Kinda-ish.
No, he's officially on NXT.
I haven't seen him in
now.
months. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, he's officially on NXT, Alex. You've been smoking crack. You were the crackhead that hit me.
I am straight edge. Girl. That was the draft. It was a long show. They should have just put out a press release. But I'm not going to lie. It had me excited. You know, I was really excited for SmackDown, live SmackDown, the draft, see where things were going. Everyone was complaining that SmackDown got the shaft. I don't think so. If you look at the SmackDown side of the draft, you will see guys who have potential that couldn't get really too much TV time. But now that they're on a whole different live thing on their own show, they can get more TV time. They can get more press. They can get more exposure. I think SmackDown will produce more stars than Raw will in the upcoming years.
Yes, possibly.
Moving on, because it's hot as shit in this room, I want to get it over with. WWE BattleGround. I didn't want to talk about the pre-show. I really didn't.
Fuck the pre-show. Who gives a shit about
there
the fucking pre-show?
There was one match. Breezango versus the Usos. Breezango won.
Yes.
Everyone says that's an upset. How is it an upset? The only thing upsetting about the match is that you thought that they would lose.
The only part that's upsetting about Breezango is that Johnny Curtis has to keep playing fucking Fandango or what? Like, I gave up halfway through that sentence because I'm like, he won NXT season 4.
Wait, he won that?
Yeah, he won.
I stopped watching NXT season 1, like the early NXT shit, like after season 1.
He beat Brutus Clay.
Wait, does that fucking matter? They all ended up there anyway.
True. It still makes me sad.
Anyway, the first match was Dana Brooke and Charlotte versus Sasha Banks and a mystery partner who ended up being Bayley. I was super fucking excited.
That, like, everybody saw it from a mile away, but then we were real sad because after she was like, oh no, I still want the NXT Women's Championship, and we're like, well, fuck.
It was a one-time deal. My heart melted. It was great seeing everyone except Bayley on the main roster. They all saw her.
With those damn inflatable tube men in that I'm a Hugger shirt. It is beautiful.
I love Bayley. The crowd was really hot. You know, this crowd was easy.
Yeah.
It was an easy crowd, but not in the way that WWE would hope.
Yeah. And even then, what happened at the Raw after Battleground was amazing. It really did carry over from this women's match.
Let's just say it there. Sasha Banks on Raw last night won the women's title.
About fucking time.
She should have won that shit at WrestleMania.
Yeah, she really should have at WrestleMania, but then they're like, nah, keep it on Charlotte with her weird face.
I feel like both Sasha Banks and Bayley are good at being baby faces in peril and awesome kick-ass people who get the hot tag.
Yeah.
Because you can see them both like, oh no, they need help. But then imagine Bayley coming in. Bayley the Beast Lesnar coming in and suplexing everybody doing the Bayley to belly.
With all those damn neon colors and that misty ass ponytail.
And Sasha Banks, the boss, coming in and fucking making everyone tap out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You have the team. That is the world's greatest tag team right there. Mm-hmm. I put them up to the caliber of American Alpha.
Why isn't there a women's tag championship?
You don't think we have too many championships already? They're fucking scraping the bottom of the barrel with it as of right now. We'll get to that stupid shit in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The match was what it was. You know, Sasha Banks tapped out Charlotte, which got her the women's championship match the next night, which she won. It was a good match, good reaction for Bayley's main roster quote-unquote debut. Next, we have The New Day versus the Wyatt family, which the story is Neon Cat versus Slender Man.
Basically, imagine Neon Cat versus Slender Man. That was the match.
The whole gimmick is that, like, Xavier Woods is just like, am I going to fall prey to Bray Wyatt's teachings? Am I going to be part of his flock? Am I going to be hypnotized by Bray Wyatt? And the New Day kind of protecting him from that whole deal, trying to get him to overcome his fear of bearded men.
Basically, he was just like that little kid that likes to stick forks in the sockets.
Side note, I'm kind of digging Bray Wyatt's new Rob Zombie kind of deal.
Yeah, really. By the way, I texted you. Bray Wyatt's lost a lot of fucking weight.
Yeah.
But then again, that's kind of what you get whenever you eat souls. There's not a lot of calories.
No carbs.
No carbs.
All protein.
All protein.
The only thing tighter than Xavier Woods' kicks is Bray Wyatt's fucking tight jeans.
True.
That was the only weird fucking thing about Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt reminds me a lot of me in high school, minus the beard. And minus the long hair.
I had the beard, but not the long hair.
Ooh.
Another fucking side note, Biggie, if you're listening, if you're within the sound of our voices, please, for the love of fucking God, please stop doing the spear through the ropes.
And then just not protecting yourself at all.
There were 3 moments in this entire pay-per-view where I thought people were dead. There was a Hurricane Rana spot in the women's match, the tag team match, where Sasha landed on her fucking head. That scared me. Big E did the spear of the outside, landed on his fucking head, scared the shit out of me. And later, Sami Zayn does the springboard
and
out
lands
to the outside,
on his shoulder.
Lands on the shoulder on the apron, scared the shit out of me. Anyway, they needed these young people, these youngsters. They need to protect themselves. The match was what it was. I was surprised the Wyatt family won. Totally honestly.
I'm not. They're splitting them up. Braun Strowman's going to Raw. Bray Wyatt's going to SmackDown. They're going to want to make everybody look strong.
But they split up the club.
True. They also split up the club.
And then next we have my boy Ruru and my girl Lana, my favorite couple in WWE history. Because Rusev is so great. I said it before, he is fantastic. And Lana is fantastic. She is hot. I love her. She is a treasure in the WWE. And we need to treasure her. Fuck all the nuclear heat that she most likely has in the backstage and just push her. Make her the Universal Champion.
Sorry, I was choking on some of that bullshit.
On the Universal Championship bullshit?
Yes, which
we'll get to in a sec. We're teasing them with our middle finger. We're teasing them a little bit.
Oh God.
Rusev with Lana versus Zack Ryder for the IC Championship. I didn't give two shits.
No, it was for the U.S. Championship. Damn it.
No, Yes, U.S. Fuck, my notes are all wrong.
Damn it, Alex. How long have we been doing this podcast?
Fuck these notes. For the U.S. Championship, I didn't give two shits because Zack Ryder was fucking on, like, what, round 10?
Yeah, really.
Of the fucking draft.
And plus, who the fuck cares? Zack Ryder was going to get buried quicker than a dead man who was on fire, so...
Wearing the worst USA gear.
True.
Because whenever you do a thing with Rusev, it has to be USA versus Russia.
And if anybody wears the American flag, you know you're going to fucking lose. I'm waiting for Baron Corbin to be like, yeah, no, dude, I want your title. Hey, Baron, do you want to wear the American flag? Fuck that, I want the title. And then he just takes it. I
imagine a guy like Baron Corbin just being like, fuck the flag, I want the fucking title with the flag on it.
Yeah.
That's all the flags I need to wear.
There you go.
Rusev won with the accolade, no surprise there. And then he's beating on him a little bit. And then fucking Mojo Rawley comes out to no one really giving a shit. He's screaming at Rusev, and Rusev's like, who the fuck is this nerd? And then he pieces out of there. He actually sent out a tweet later that night, which I'm going to read to you right now when I pull up on my fucking phone. Grant, talk about something real quick.
Guys, I would like to talk to you about someone I
Too
truly
late.
love. Aw, damn.
He posted on Twitter, I can't believe fan jumped in the ring and nobody stopped him. I need a challenge. It's just too easy. Hashtag WWE BATTLEGROUND.
Truthfully, Mojo Rawley does look like that one dude that's a big wrestling fan, got really big, like to prepare for wrestling school, and just hasn't gone yet because he's too cool for it.
Yeah, and he's just... And I was going to say Simon Miller, but he's actually doing shit.
Yeah, Simon Miller's actually going to wrestling school.
Yeah. So he's just screaming at Rusev, and Rusev's like, I don't fucking care, and then he just leaves. Think about that. If there was no brand split, that would be into a future program, right? Mojo Rawley is on SmackDown. Rusev is on Raw. They can't have a program with that.
True.
So why the fuck did they do it?
They're probably going to reintroduce the Hype Bros, probably, for the mainstream.
I really expected Mojo Rawley to beat up Zack for a bit.
Oh,
Wouldn't
really?
that have been awesome?
Oh, that would have been great.
Next, we have a backstage segment with Foley and Stephanie and Rollins. Basically, it's just like, yeah, you're going to win the title.
Yeah,
I'm going to win the title.
Just don't fucking lose, bitch.
Moving on. We have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Match of the night.
Match of the night.
Some people claim this was better than Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, no.
This match fucking ruled, though.
This has been one of the few matches WWE's put out that's been character driven. You felt every hit. You understood every hit.
There was, like you said, there was a story to it. We had this culmination. There was compassion between each participant. Where there was a moment where Kevin Owens was like, don't make me do this to you, Sammy. And then after Sammy hit the Haluga kick the first time, he looked at Kevin Owens like, you made me do this. And then he hit him again, then he pinned him. It was a really great match. A lot of awesome spots. A lot of Kevin Owens being Kevin Owens, just talking shit in the ring, driving up that whole, like, hey, I'm an asshole character. Sami Zayn being the good guy, but doing what he has to do to win. And, again, just really great match of the night. And I feel bad for the assholes who had to follow that shit.
Yeah, really.
And if... There are moments where I want to be nice to people, but if I fucking hear JBL plainly not give a shit about someone doing their finisher one more time, I'm going to punch a fucking baby.
Oh, wait, so you finally got on the I Hate JBL commentary bandwagon like I've been since day one of this podcast.
You have been, and I've been like, Grant, we have to be nice to people, give them the benefit of the doubt.
Because JBL doesn't focus on the fucking match. All he does is talk about like, oh, I remember this guy who, when he used to wrestle, yeah, JBL, but why don't you focus on the fucking match? By the way, he almost made me not want to go on to SmackDown. I'm like,
Remember the black guy with the trombone?
You mean Xavier Woods?
Yeah.
You mean
Titus? Shelton Benjamin with the trombone.
Are you calling JBL racist?
Orlando Jordan. And then we have Natalya versus Becky Lynch. I feel bad for these guys because they had to follow up that really great match, and there's not too much heat. I try to watch it again, not really getting into it. Natalya won, which was really surprising because I figured, Becky hasn't gotten a win in a while.
They're probably gonna finish it off at SummerSlam. I can see that happening.
You think so?
Yeah.
Anyway, then we have another backstage segment with Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, and Ambrose. Another pep talk, saying you're going to win the title or you're going to retain it, whatever, and then move on.
Because fuck Reigns.
No one gave Reigns a pep talk, but I will say this. I believe Stephanie gave Rollins a pep talk. Shane gave Dean Ambrose a pep talk. I bet Roman got his pep talk from a piss jar.
Probably. Or probably Vince McMahon just giving him fellatio in the bathroom.
Giving him a Samoan drop on his dick.
There you go.
Think about that. Then we have Darren Young versus The Miz for the IC Championship. I wrote that one down correctly, Grant. I didn't give a shit. The American people, didn't give a shit.
And since Rusev won, you know who was going over. You knew the Miz was.
Excuse me? Oh, I thought you meant Rusev for this match. I'm like,
No.
racist fuck.
No.
Do all champions look alike to you?
Sometimes.
You racist bastard.
Sometimes if Vince is in charge of booking, then yes.
What the fuck was Miz wearing?
I ask myself that question every day, sir. I don't know.
What was with this mask thing? It was cool. I want it.
Oh, I saw this great meme to where it was like when you have a swingers party at 9, but you have to defend the IC title at 8.
No one could get into it because you didn't make Darren Young a star at that point.
Yeah, no, this whole like make Darren Young great again thing is really strange.
The finish. I will give you $20 if you can tell me what the fucking finish was.
I have no fucking idea. Apparently it was a double disqualification.
Why?
I don't
What
understand.
did they do that could disqualify either of them?
I don't get it. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm scared.
Let's break it down. So, I guess Bob Backlund was talking to Maurice. Maurice slapped him. He ripped off his shirt Hulk style. She pretended that he pushed her. Miz pushed Bob Backlund to the floor. I'm surprised he didn't turn into dust and just poof away.
Yeah, seriously, because Bob Backlund, how old is he?
Older than most trees.
Mm.
And then Darren Young goes out and does the cross-faced chicken wing. And then immediately they both get... Or the bell rings immediately. They didn't get counted out. They didn't get disqualified. They didn't mention that it was a no contest. What the fuck was it?
I don't understand.
If there was no brand split, that feud would have continued. Miz is on SmackDown. Darren Young is on Raw. So what the fuck? Why do we have these 2-0 titles end in ways that they can't fucking continue?
Yeah, seriously. And plus, we already know since Rusev won, Miz isn't gonna give another title to Raw.
No.
It's fucking stupid.
No, I'm trying to get through this that quickly. Then we have Cena and Enzo and Cass versus the club. Enzo Amore is fucking not just gold, he is platinum.
He is the damn man. That was one of the best promos I've ever seen him cut. People were chanting his name. Oh, Enzo Amore.
And WWE is so high on Big Cass. Don't get me wrong, I love Big Cass, but you can't ignore a guy like Enzo Amore.
Yo, man, you been on this Big Cass shit? I got something even better for you. It's called Enzo. Oh, man.
And Cena, I'm kind of liking Cena a bit more nowadays, just because he's given the spotlight a little bit.
He's understood what his place in the WWE is now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna say shit. You have the entire fucking floor.
Yeah. And by the way, after that promo, I found a shirt that says Enzo Amore for president, and I kind of want it.
I would believe so. He would make our currency certified G's.
And bona fide studs.
He would bring the economy back. He would end all world wars by teaching everyone how to dance.
And you can't teach that.
The match itself was solid, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Like nothing like super like blows my mind. It's just like the club lost. I kind of did see that coming because the Wyatt family won earlier, so I'm not going to have like 2 teams splitting up winning. But I'm not really mad about it. I'm really not. Even though Cena was the one that got the pin, it's like I felt the club looked strong enough to not go into the brand split week.
Yeah, totally.
There was a spot towards the end where like there was a hitting your own partner sequence where Enzo jumped on Cena. That was a little clumsy. And then he's passing off Enzo to Gallows, who just kind of tossed him. That looked clumsy. And then AJ hit Gallows with the phenomenal forearm. That looked clumsy. That whole sequence was just kind of like weird and clumsy, out of place. And then Cena wins with the super AA off the middle rope. And so he pins AJ Styles, which, again, I'm not mad about because they looked strong enough the whole match.
Yeah, totally. And plus, we know we're going to have a blow-off match at SummerSlam, so Cena kind of had to win.
Yeah. So I'm hoping AJ wins that one. That one I think I'd be upset if Cena wins.
Yeah, totally. AJ has to win it.
Then we had the highlight reel with Randy Orton. Randy Orton as a fucking face sucks.
Totally.
To be blunt, he's not fun.
And by the way, Randy, you cannot do a wellness policy joke about Brock Lesnar when you have 2 strikes.
Did he dope?
I don't fucking
He smoked that dank kush.
He smoked the crack.
I think one of them was actually he did smoke marijuana. I think that was one of them.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, like he was like, "Oh, I'm going to teach him about the Viper. No enhancement needed." It was like, it wasn't a bad dad joke. It was just a bad joke.
The Viperville was fucking awful.
Yeah, really.
In the city of Viperville.
It kind of reminded me of like whenever you're at a party and you have that one friend and they're just like shooting the bull and someone says a really racist joke that he thinks is going to go over awesome and everyone's like,
Dude, and like they look over like, why do we invite him?
Exactly.
That is face Randy Orton.
Who the fuck invited this guy?
The guy who kicked Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon in the head, DDT'd Stephanie, kissed her on the lips, invaded Triple H's home, or Triple H invaded his home, and everything, is a guy like, oh, I'm so happy to be here, guys. I'm so happy, good lucky. I'm laughing, I'm making jokes. That's not Randy Orton to me. That's just a dude. He's doing John Cena's entrance.
Yeah, face Randy Orton's just weird.
Yeah. Triple threat match for the WWE title. It was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. I really like this match. It wasn't match of the night like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It was still solid. I feel like I have more positivity.
It was great. By the way, I saw this fun fact. Every member of the Shield has pinned another member of the Shield to win the WWE title.
True facts.
True fact. Look it up.
Don't look it up. Trust us. We are the only official rumor spreaders.
We are like the Fox. Actually, no, I don't want to be the Fox News of the wrestling business.
We are Democracy Now!
There you go.
Of wrestling news. We only give you the facts. Anyway, so I guess the whole thing was like the commissioner and GMs come out to root for their guy, which actually made it. Some people didn't like that. I enjoy it, make it look more like, oh, it's a big fight feel. I wanted anyone but Roman to win this one, obviously for biased reasons, because I love Seth Rollins, but I think I'm more of a Seth fan than I am a Dean fan, but I wanted SmackDown to have the title to give it a bit more legitimacy.
Yeah, totally, because with this brand split, you're going to need to push it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have the title and you put a new title on it, no one's going to give a shit about the new title. They're going to care if the new title's on Raw, which they did.
Mm-hmm. So Ambrose pins Roman Reigns clean. And then going into Raw the next night, Roman Reigns lost clean again.
To Finn Balor after he won a Fatal 4-Way.
True. So they're also, for Raw they mentioned that there is going to be a WWE Universal title.
Which is basically like Stephanie McMahon pulling out her metaphorical dick and just stroking it.
To me, it's like, let's say you have a big brother. You have a big brother, right?
Yes.
Let's say you and your big brother are just kids, you're hanging out. Your big brother's like, I'm hanging out with my friends, but you can't come. Wait, well, I have my own group of friends in our own club. We're going to call it the Universal title times infinity, dork. And then you do like the L symbol.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that, like if you're playing superheroes with like your siblings, and one of them's like, well, I have invisibility. Well, I have invisibility and I can fly, like dickhole shit like this. By the way, my brother actually listens to this podcast. What up, Jason? Anyway.
Jason, how you doing? My name is Alex. I can host your podcasts. Here's my card.
I don't think he has a podcast.
He's going to be inspired. Speaking of, there are people who have been inspired by this podcast to do their own.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I won't say your last name, but Lisa, if you listen to the podcast, we know that we inspired you. Here's our card.
So shout out to you. And how are you able to pull cards out of your mouth?
They won't know.
How do you not have just a ton of paper cuts in your mouth?
Who says I don't?
Oh, true. Anyway, so basically, the way that they decided this was 2 Fatal 4-Ways for some reason, and the winner of those facing in the main event of Raw, and that person will go on to face Seth Rollins for the title, which I kind of understood the fact why Seth Rollins would be in that title reign, but we all know he's going to win it because Finn Balor won his match against Roman Reigns.
What if, this is me just being hopeful thinking, what if they're so high on Finn Balor right now, that he wins the title right off the bat.
He wins the title, but the club turns face with him.
Or he turns heel with them.
Yeah, or he turns heel. Because I could see Seth winning it, and then him and Finn have a little program. But it would be better if the club got involved, and Seth finally turned face with the title, but then lost it to Finn. Seth turns face, does a program with Triple H, and like maybe carries it a little bit until WrestleMania, or maybe they have a blow-off at the Royal Rumble, whatever. And then Finn carries that like old-school Bullet Club in New Japan.
They said that the club didn't split up, they expanded. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are on Raw. They're going to find a new leader in that.
They're going to have a club on each brand.
I was going to get to that, yes. AJ is on SmackDown. AJ gets 2 new guys. What if the 2 new guys was American Alpha?
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be fucking outrageously awesome?
Or like that opens up a new realm of possibilities. I could see American Alpha doing it. I could see Enzo and Cass doing it and doing amazingly.
And also, did you notice that Becky Lynch had on a club shirt at the draft?
That is true. She did have on a club shirt, so maybe we have a female member of the club.
I think so, because she hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah, true. So why not put her with AJ and have a female member of the club and just have the club collect titles?
And then she dyes her hair black.
Oh, but I like the red hair.
I know, but the club's like they're black. They're shooting people with their fingers. Imagine it, Grant. Imagine all 6 of these, like everyone, like Becky Lynch, the American Alpha, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, the club. And they finally just call it the Balor Club, Bullet Club. Just don't fuck around with us. Don't twiddle our dicks. Just call it the Bullet Club.
Yeah, just call it the Bullet Club. We can have the Bullet Club in every single promotion besides TNA. We have the Delete Club in TNA.
Broken Matt Hardy for the club. Bullet Club.
Yes.
2017. Called it.
Calling it now.
All right, I think we have the end of it here. We ain't got too much to talk about. Coming up soon, later in the week, we have episode 3 of the CWC podcast, talking about the Cruiserweight Classic. We'll see how that goes, but thank you guys for listening. Remember to check us out on SoundCloud, Twitter, and Facebook, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.